At Service FM, we know every workplace is different. Every challenge is unique. That's why we personalise our services to our customers' different needs across different industries. From medical to mining and manufacturing, hospitality to healthcare, commercial to defence. So when you need to create a better work environment, you need Service FM. Proud partner with Football South Australia.
Adelaide wakes up with 5AA, David Penberthy and Will Goodings. Tom Wren for sport. Jade Robran on the scene as it happens. Jess Adamson with the news that matters to Adelaide. Breakfast with David and Will, bringing together the names you trust with everything you need to know to start your day. Always live, always local and only on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Welcome to round 5 of the Apex Steel Women's National Premier League South Australia. It's Campbelltown City versus Flinders United at Steve Woodcock Sports Centre, which is scheduled for 7:30 kickoff tonight. Less than 2 minutes away, but no sign of the two sides that are going to be getting underway, so we may be delayed by a couple of minutes. Worth having a look at the current situation with these two teams on the ladder at the moment. Campbelltown City sit in last place with 4 successive losses to start the season. Meanwhile, Flinders United just marginally better in 9th with just a single point from their round 2 draw. And also tonight in the Apex Steel Women's National Premier League South Australia, the 3 remaining fixtures for this round are happening, including Metro Stars and Mowbray Vista. Their result could leave the door open for one of these teams to climb up the ladder. And West Adelaide will try to make it 5 successive wins since the start of the season, and West Torrens-Bacalla have a chance to climb up into second. I'll correct myself before I said Metro Stars playing Mowbray Vista. Both those teams are playing, but Metro Stars are travelling away to West Torrens-Bacalla. Let's have a look at the starting lineups for this fixture, though. 2 changes made for Campbelltown City by Amero Gosti and Joe Rakiki following last week's 3-1 loss away to West Adelaide. In come Georgia Yanella and Marina Asada. Out come Josephine Trimboli and Monique Rakiki. And 2 changes also made for Flinders United by Thomas Monsignor following last week's 2-0 loss away to Football SA. Coming into the starting 11, Bethany Beale and Jolie Doling for Caitlin Zappler and Blessing Akpolu. Officials tonight are Zach Britton, Gabriel Sianis, Joshua Farrell and Simon Jimenez keeping you company across what's happening live at Steve Woodcock Sports Centre tonight. And it looks like both teams are about to make their way out and will be a few minutes delayed for kickoff. It's a chilly night at Newton. We had a little bit of a drizzle of rain before, in maybe the last 10 minutes or so, but it should be relatively dry, a little bit chillier than what we've had for the first few rounds, but that'll be okay. It will be a bit of a slippery deck out there, but should be an exciting one for plenty to play for these two sides. We mentioned the ladder position before, but just to reiterate, Campbelltown in 10th spot, last on the ladder with their 4 losses already this season, and Flinders United in 9th spot. The winner of this one can get out on the bottom 2. In terms of last week's performances, well, a couple of weeks ago in the last round of the Apex Steel WNPL, it was a 3-1 away loss to West Adelaide for Campbelltown, and it was a 2-0 away loss to FSA for Flinders United. We did actually get this round underway last week with FSA hosting their game on Easter Monday. And on that occasion it was a loss to FSA against a Comet side who were absolutely red hot. So we've got those games out of the way. The rest of round 5 will be completed tonight, and things will continue to shape up in the Apex Steel Women's National Premier League South Australia. We can talk about a couple of the players to watch tonight. Anna Pritchard for Campbelltown, 2 goals to her name so far. Summer Doman, 1 goal to her name so far this season, and 2 for Vicky Juma for Flinders United, and 1 each for Beale, Knight and Bolton. And had a quick little chat to someone on the sideline this morning who gave their opinion on the Apex Steel Women's National Premier League SA Team of the Month for March, and there was plenty of feedback around that online for both the RAA NPL men's team and the Apex Steel women's team. But his little tip was, where was Olivia Bramley? The Campbelltown captain, of course, is lining up tonight, wearing the number 15. Her performance noteworthy, at least to the home crowd. We look back to last season when these two teams faced off each other. It was a round 11 win to Campbelltown, winning 4-1, and in round 2 it was a 4-0 win to Flinders. And of course, if you talk general form for last year, Campbelltown of course had that big run in the second half of the season and ended up having a bit of a finals campaign after just slipping into those top positions to secure their position, when you would have thought after the first half of the season it was a little bit unlikely. Campbelltown, one of the teams that did the most in terms of pickups in the off-season too. Olivia Bramley, who we mentioned before, one of the big pickups coming back from overseas where she was with Durham Women's Football Club. Anna Pritchard joining from West Adelaide, the undefeated during the regular season West Adelaide last year. Yuka Takuda also joining the side from Japan. Meanwhile, a few new faces for Flinders United, including the top scorer Vicky Juma, who joined Flinders United after Adelaide City's relegation last year. And it looks like we're going to get underway about 5 minutes behind schedule, but nonetheless not too much of a delay. And we're underway at Steve Woodcock Sports Centre. Bit of a modest crowd watching tonight's Friday night fixture, but we know how much there is happening around Adelaide at the moment, and I think there's a few people that have opted to stay in the car, so can't blame him in this sort of condition tonight, but hopefully we have the sort of game that's worth getting out and getting a bit of a closer look at. Campbelltown on the attack, but ended up being a bit of a loose ball forward. Yasmin Elliott clears it long, but falls to the feet of one of the Campbelltown players. It's spilt. Vicky Juma just battling to get onto this and create an early threat for Flinders United not to be. This is a dangerous position for Campbelltown, and it's a very early goal for Flinders United. The away side making the most of a bit of a goalkeeping error or a misjudgment. The Campbelltown defenders and keeper Isabel Chekowicz just having a quick word just to trying to figure out what went wrong. Looks like it was a bit of a miscommunication, but nonetheless, 1-0 in just the first minute, the way of Flinders United. And it's been number 28, Georgia Bolton for Flinders United. That's been credited with the goal in just the second minute. So we mentioned there was a few people checking out the games from their car, and already now that there's one goal in the picture, looks like we've got a few extra bodies pitch side. That'll be a Campbelltown throw-in. Summer Doman will take. We'll keep you up to date with the other games happening around Adelaide in the Apex Steel WNPLSA tonight as well. Metro Stars travelling away to West Torrens Bacalla, but here's a little bit of action here now. It ends up going out. It'll be a Campbelltown goal kick, corner kick rather. Falls right in the danger area at the end of the 6-yard box, but it's dealt with initially. But here's another chance for Campbelltown on the follow-up. Shot from well outside by Georgia Yanella, but it won't trouble Yasmin Elliott. Just to go back to the other games that we mentioned before, Metro Stars travelling to Jack Smith Park to take on West Torrens Bacalla. It's the 64th minute in that game, and all tied up 0-0 a little bit later tonight. 8:15 kickoff between Salisbury Inter and Modbury Vista, and 8:30 between West Adelaide and Adelaide University, and that will wind up round 5 for us. Meanwhile, in the NPL, we've got the second half of the doubleheader between Bacalla and Metro Stars, with the men kicking off in the RAA NPLSA at 8:30. And then plenty of action to check out tomorrow, of course, as well, and you can see it all on the FSA Leagues page on YouTube. We, of course, thank our naming rights sponsor of this league, Apex Steel. Official naming rights sponsor of the Apex Steel Women's National Premier League South Australia. A free kick from Flinders United. Well out. Trying to put in deep and just create a little bit of a confusing moment. Isabel Chekowicz not troubled and able to claim that comfortably. Chekowicz comes out to claim once again. She was one of the players on the move during the off-season, coming to Campbelltown from Sturt Lions. Plenty of experience elsewhere, having played in West Adelaide, Metro Stars, Adelaide Uni, and Adelaide Comets. She was the goalkeeper of the year back in 2023, and also the Cup winner and Premier in 2023. So, bit of a rare slip-up as a result of that miscommunication in the second minute that resulted in that Flinders United goal, but just creates a little bit more urgency in this fixture between the two teams that are currently at the bottom of the table. Nice little ball through from Campbelltown. Amelia Rakiki, although Marina Asada not able to get onto it. Asada, of course, one of the two changes for Campbelltown tonight, her coming into the side. That cross just cut off. And Rakiki battles. And looks like she's won a free kick in the process. Brooke Gilchrist coming to claim the spot kick. Another one of the ton of players that made their way to Campbelltown in the off-season. She came across from Adelaide City following their relegation, and her former teammates lining up for Flinders United tonight in Vicky Juma. What can Gilchrist do from here? Ends up just going too high and too wide. 6 minutes gone on the One World LED and Sportal System scoreboard for all your indoor and outdoor digital display solutions. As we said, both of these teams struggling to find form so far this year and currently winless. Flinders United just a little bit better off on the table as a result of claiming 1 point back in round 2. That was due to a home draw to Mowbray Vista, which was 2-2. Overall, so far this campaign, Flinders United have been the highest scoring team between the two. And in terms of goal conceded, dead even with both teams conceding 10. Just struggling to clear this ball out of the mode is Flinders United, and Campbelltown looked for a second like they may be able to claim it in a dangerous spot. They will get a throw in. And it just goes out again. It will be a goal kick on this occasion. Yasmin Elliott will take, and she'll choose the short option. Nice little deflection from Campbelltown to just keep it in Flinders United's defensive third, at least for now. Now Summer Doman ends up with it for Campbelltown. Plays it back to Czechowicz. Simic to Glynns. Just a little bit loose there, Campbelltown again, and it'll be another Flinders United throw in. Glynns does well to pick up the loose ball. She found Rakiku on, plays it to Yanella, but it's lost again. Campbelltown end up doing the better of it, but they give up possession. And now it's Flinders United on the attack. And it goes out. This time it'll be a Campbelltown throw-in. It's been called back for a retake from Kira Glynns. Vitrek with a nice ball across to Rakiki. Now she's got a little bit of space here. She might even try from distance. Just hesitates, and that touch not good enough and spills possession. But it will be a Campbelltown throw-in. Summer Doman found Vitrek, but possession spilled again. It looks like Campbelltown will manage to clean it up though. No, it goes out for another throw-in. Neither team really able to do much at this early stage, of course, except for Flinders United. Of course, they did the most valuable thing they could have done in terms of getting themselves on the scoreboard, but in terms of general play, you could probably give the slight edge to Campbelltown, although it's spent a lot of time in the middle being contested. But here's a chance for Campbelltown. Managed to create just a little bit of space, but cut off. Another chance. Just went beyond Yasmin Elliott, but she's got some help there to clean up, but the whistle has gone. Zach Britton's caught it back for, it looks like a goal kick. Looks like that one was perhaps missed by Yasmin Elliott, and now Campbelltown win it in their attacking third with a throw-in. Glynns manages to keep it in and keep possession. Shot from range for Campbelltown, and we're 1-1. 13th minute, and that was impressive. And it's Anna Pritchard that's been credited in the 13th minute. And all of a sudden we're locked up again. Great shot from distance for the former West Adelaide player. That's got a tremendous amount of experience across Cumberland United, Salisbury into West Adelaide. Former Shirley Brown medalist. Two-time treble winner with West Adelaide and Salisbury Inter, and also part of last year's premiership team. So Flinders, despite getting that early lead just 2 minutes in, now things are back on equal terms, and as we were saying, just before that goal got scored, maybe a slight edge to Campbelltown at the moment in terms of general play, but hasn't been the tidiest of games from either side, but this might be the sort of thing for the home side, Campbelltown, just to get a little bit of steam back now that they're back on equal terms, especially given the messy nature of that first goal that was scored by Flinders United. Just a bit of a miscommunication that was capitalised on by Flinders United, and it was Bolton that capitalised. Glynns favoured the short option in Ella, and she plays it all the back to Isabel Checkwitz. And they do, just in this initial minute or so after that equaliser, look to be playing with a little bit more confidence and zest at the moment. Campbelltown. Rikiki finds Asada, and that's a nice long ball. And another chance from distance, and it just goes wide this time. It was Stella Vitrek, and Yasmin Elliott was a fair way off her line, so a good opportunity for Campbelltown to get one more up, but not capitalised on. But it will be a corner kick, so must have taken a deflection somewhere along the line there, rather than going wide directly. And it looks like Vitrek will send in the corner with a right-footed outswinger. Falls just shy of the front post, and the net's rippled. Is that another one? Well, Campbelltown is celebrating it. Not quite sure who to credit for that one, but it's a goal nonetheless. Just heard the ground MC. Not 100% sure whether to credit Anna Pritchard, but he at least did in the interim. Nonetheless, It is 2-1 now in the 16th minute. So how dramatically things can change in just a couple of minutes for Campbelltown, going from the 1-0 deficit to now having that 1-0 buffer. And we saw after that first goal was enough to pick up the confidence and just make them play a little bit more cleanly and making Flinders United chase. This goal might further put a little bit of wind in their sails as Vicky Juma battles against Glynns. Nice cross from Flinders United, but just goes into an opposition body in Olivia Bramley. Weeks to Yanella. Goes back to Glynns. Gilchrist just letting it go, but it's spilled to Flinders United and chipped in for a little half attempt from Robin Price, but that won't be too troublesome for anyone. And Campbelltown now again playing it out from the back. 2 goals to their favour and picking up a bit of momentum as well, as that's a long ball in from Rukiki. Not sure if that was a shot from distance or looking to put it in the path of Georgia Yanella. Nonetheless, it's dealt with by Flinders United, and they were on the attack, but only momentarily. Glynns. The whistle's gone, and it will now be a Flinders United free kick. He was looking for both Juma and Bolton, but just fell a little bit short, and there was 2 Campbelltown players waiting for it. They still end up with possession, and they'll try to build something out, Flinders, but Glynns finds herself with it yet again. She's on the side closest to us, so we've seen plenty of her up close, but has had a very solid start to this game so far. Simic to Glynns. She tried to link up with the 1-2, but just a little bit too sloppy from Yanella on this occasion. $18 minutes gone on the One World LED and Sportal System scoreboard for all your indoor and outdoor digital display solutions. 8:15 is the next kickoff on the schedule. And that one's between Salisbury Inter and Mulberry Vista. A little bit later, West Torrens Bacalla playing Metro Stars in the RAA NPLSA, and that's of course part 2 of the night at Jack Smith Park, because West Torrens Bacalla and Metro Stars in the Apex Steel WNPLSA are currently playing. And we're finally off the mark in that one, because West Torrens Bacalla have gone 1-0 up at home, with Nicole Robertson having scored in the 77th minute. And I've just got some confirmation about that second goal, which we credited to Anna Pritchard in the interim, just going off what the Grand MC said, and I'm getting confirmation that it was Pritchard that scored again, so a brace so far for her tonight. Bramley doing a great job to just hold off Bolton and eventually puts it out into safety. McDonald Hall will take the throw in, and if she's got a bit of an arm on her, she may be able to deliver that into a danger area. It just goes into the 18-yard box. Here's Price in a little bit of space. She chooses to go out a bit further and just slightly mishit from Jolie Dowling, and ends up being a loose ball that Campbelltown can deal with. Clever little flick from Campbelltown. I'm not sure if it was meant to play out that way, but it did. But they spill it in attempting to play it back forward again. And now Flinders United can once again build it out from the back. Just looking a little bit too frantic Flinders. They're being out-possessioned by Campbelltown at the moment, but when they do get it, just a little bit too hasty in moving up forward and being a little bit wasteful. Thrown from Doman, falls to the feet of Pritchard. Glynns again managed to keep the ball despite the initial tackle, but the second kit's deflected. But Campbelltown managed to win again. Just a little bit misjudged by Asada there, who let it go through to the Flinders player. Flinders United just trying to thread the gap on that occasion, but cut off by Campbelltown once again. Pritchard with the ball forward. It looks like she was trying to find Yanella on a bit of a run to find herself in a little bit of space, but that ends up being easily dealt with by Flinders United. As Yasmin Elliott clears it with a thumping kick on that occasion. Now Vicky Juma with a little bit of a chance. Scored 2 goals so far. She's the best marksman so far this season for Flinders United, and she hasn't seen a whole lot of the ball yet. On that occasion, she's part of winning the corner kick and goes in to receive. She's one of the taller players out there for Flinders United, and she's made a beeline straight for the goal mouth. And Tamsin Gallagher will be the one to deliver this corner. Right-footed outswinger incoming. Juma presented short, but it just goes above her, lands at the near post. And it looks like Campbelltown will be able to clear. Vitrek. It's a nice ball forward. Just that little touch from Asada, a little bit too heavy, and it spilled straight away. Now it's gone back into Flinders United's attacking third, but it will be a Campbelltown throw-in. Flinders United bench just returning from a brief warm-up. The Campbelltown bench still doing so. It is a chilly night, so they'll be battling to keep warm a little bit. On the bench for Campbelltown tonight, it's Monique Rakiki, who was in the starting 11 last week. Yuka Takuda, Elizabeth Kafari, Alyssa Costello, Brooklyn Rigney, and Melissa Bosco, the backup keeper for Campbelltown for Flinders United. It's Claire Levy, Charlotte Knipe, Blessing Akpalu, and Caitlin Zappler. Getting closer to kick-off time in that Salisbury into Modbury Vista game, and closer to the final whistle in West Torrens-Bacalla Metro Stars. West Torrens-Bacalla still leading Metro 1-0. In that other game of round 5 of the Apex Steel WNPLSA. It's worth having a quick look at the standings as they are at the moment. Assuming West Torrens-Bacalla take 3 points, they'll be on equal points for now with West Adelaide, although they kick off a little bit later tonight. Football SA in third spot currently on 10 points. They have already played in round 5. Adelaide Comets and Salisbury Inter in 4th and 5th spots respectively. Then Adelaide University a little bit further down in 7th, just above Campbelltown's place where they stand at the very moment, which is in 7th, assuming they get 3 points tonight. That's just the live ladder situation. It's still a long way to go in this game, of course, though. And of course, that'll leave Modbury Vista in 9th and Flinders United in 10th. But as we said, plenty of game to play out. Just 25 minutes gone here. Shot from distance. And it goes wide. I believe it was Amelia Rakiki. No, I think I was wrong. I think it might have been Georgia Yanella who tried that shot from distance. She's been equally keen to get on the board tonight to join Pritchard, having already got 2 under their belt tonight. Possession lost by Flinders United again, and just forced to make a bit of a panic clearance. It might end up all right for them though, with Bolton coming onto the loose ball. Campbelltown do well to slide in and win it, but not done overly cleanly. Brooke Gilchrist was forced to slide in and win it back again, but it did go out, and it will be another Flinders United throw in. Got Juma and Glyn's just jostling for it there. Another throw in for Flinders United. And that time it just beat Juma, and Glyn's was able to play it forward. That's a nice ball from V-Trek, but it's cut off by Flinders United, and it's eventually cleared from Yasmin Elliott. Well, Campbelltown seem to have really settled into this game for the moment, enjoying the lion's share of possession and just making Flinders United chase. They don't really look like they've settled yet. They're just looking a bit uncomfortable when they do win it, just a little bit panicked. Initially looked like a not bad ball, but it'll be cleaned up by Campbelltown unless Juma could get to that first, but she didn't. Another Flinders United throw in. Simic plays it back to Čeković. Back to Simic. She assesses her options, and she might choose Glyn's on the wing. She in turn plays it up to V-Trek. Comfortable on the ball, able to create a little bit of space for herself. And Campbelltown just showing a little bit more composure now that they have got that goal buffer as well. Really making Flinders United chase. We mentioned at the opening that neither side has taken a win yet, but in terms of the teams that they've played so far, it's probably safe to say that Campbelltown have had a little bit of a tougher draw, having played West Adelaide away, Salisbury Inter away, and West Torrens-Bacalla away. The other one being FSA at home, but they've been in decent form, FSA as well. Meanwhile, Flinders United also playing West Torrens-Bacalla and FSA, but Modbury Vista, they did manage a draw at home. And the other one was Adelaide Uni in round one. Round 11 last year, a win for Campbelltown, 4-1. On that occasion, it was Asada that scored 2. Rakiki, and also the beneficiary of an own goal. And it was 4-0 in round 2, the way of Flinders United, with Rickards, Bill, Rojas, Pino and Adicott scoring on that occasion. And Flinders Campbelltown not able to respond on that occasion. So plenty of goals scored in this fixture last year. "31 minutes gone now on the One World LED and Sportal System scoreboard for all your indoor and outdoor digital display solutions." Just recapping what we've seen so far. Bolton scoring early in just the second minute for Flinders United, making the most of a bit of a defensive miscommunication, and Anna Pritchard responding in the 13th minute, and then again in the 16th to give the 2-1 lead to Campbelltown. Bolton just fending off Simic. Campbelltown do well to win, but in the end, Pritchard loses it on the turn, but Campbelltown still have possession. Gilchrist assessing her options. She played it forward, but no red shirts running onto it. Another long and high clearance from Elliott. And Rikiki's just gone to ground, and the ref has had a bit of a closer look, but Rikiki's straight up again. And Simic will take this free. It's dealt with comfortably by Flinders United in the end. Cut off by Campbelltown, but Flinders United win it back. Made the attempt to just play it up the line to Lauren Frost, but goes over and it'll be a Campbelltown throw-in. Does seem over the last couple of minutes that Flinders United have maybe just taken away a little bit of the momentum that Campbelltown had following their 2 goals. Nothing too threatening built from Flinders United as of yet, though. Of course, aside from that early goal that saw them go up 1-0 in just the second minute. But this throw-in's just inside of their offensive third. McDonald hold. Finds Bolton. Just gets cut off on the turn by Pritchard and spills possession. Just miscontrolled by Vitrek on that occasion, and Flinders United briefly won it back, but now Campbelltown just cleaning up things, and they'll build it out from the back again. Captain Bramley finding Doman. Another little testy moment there for Campbelltown. And it seems like Flinders United just turned up the dial a little bit, just trying to make Campbelltown feel their pressure a little bit, and that little spill a moment ago, maybe a little bit of a symptom of that. Well, that was well won by Flinders United, but in the end, that touch just turns it straight back over to Glynns. Flinders United just missing that opportunity to win it back again, and it goes out for a Campbelltown throw-in. Vicky Juma looked like she was going to run for it in second, but reinforcements joining Simic and Bramley, and Campbelltown were easily able to win that in the 2 versus 1. Just on the topic of Bramley, huge pickup for Campbelltown in the off-season from Durham Women's Football Club. In the second tier of English football in the women's game. Formerly from the Leicester City Centre of Excellence. Also had a spell at Portsmouth on loan as well. Multiple league titles in both South Australia and overseas as well. And between dominating on the pitch, she's also studying for a PhD as well. So no doubt a packed schedule for Olivia Bramley as she just distributes it centrally to Yanella. Now this is a long ball. This could be a chance for Campbelltown here. Pritchard, distance, and just goes outside the far post and denied her hat-trick. As of yet, though. That was well won by Rakiki and just found V-Track, but that's ball going central from her. Spilled again to Flinders United. Well won by Campbelltown in the end. 3v1 against Udich. Glyn's managed to find Asada with that ball, but Campbelltown give away a free kick in the process. 38 minutes gone now. One World Elliott in Sportal System scoreboard as Elliott thumps it long. Chekowicz sends it long to Asada, and that goes over. It'll be another Flinders United throw in. Couple testy moments for Chekowicz. Of course, just before that first goal was scored by Flinders United, and then a few moments ago as well, she was under some serious pressure from Juma, but it was dealt with on that occasion. Bramley just protects it as it goes back to a keeper. That was a bit of a threading ball from Campbelltown to a little bit of space, but it's deflected, and now there's a bit of a exodus from the ground as the rain starts to fall. We've got about 39 minutes of football without the rain, but it's finally arrived. There's not a huge amount of rain scheduled for tonight, but we've at least got a shower for now. And it's actually coming down a little bit at the moment. We can probably call it actual rain rather than just a shower. We're on the main pitch at Steve Woodcock tonight rather than the artificial back pitch, so things will likely get a little bit greasy, a little bit slippery. Chekowicz called into action. Well out of the 18-yard box. Vitrek just battling to win that high. She doesn't, but then a little shirt pull from Asada after Campbelltown did lose it. Now this will be a Campbelltown free kick. Bolton just making sure that they're not able to get too close with the free. Rakiki looked like she was maybe trying to get a couple of extra yards. It's maybe a little bit too far out to trouble. They've only got a two-man wall. And plenty of runners on the edge of the 18-yard box that are ready to dash in. Rakiki has a shot from distance, and Elliott, after initially parrying, secures the ball. And now we've had a little bit of wind during the rain here, so it's not an incredibly pleasant environment right at this moment. But still a few more minutes to be played in this half. The Campbelltown bench is right in front of us at the moment. I think at this particular point in time, a couple of them are probably questioning a decision not to layer up tonight as another ball is called for to get play back underway, and it looks like the rain's just clearing a little bit now. And that looks like we've got a little bit of a reprieve, although it's still chilly here at Steve Woodcock Sports Park. Ball in from Campbelltown. That's initially controlled well, but bobbles a little bit, and Flinders United able to win possession. That ball forward not good enough though, and Campbelltown are able to win it back. Gilchrist, Glynn, who just overcooked that first hit a little bit, but there's a bit of a chance here. Pritchard maybe a little bit heavy on the first touch. Hungry to make it a hat-trick for tonight, all in the first half, but just two still to her name for now as Flinders United come back on the attack. Gilchrist does well to cut her off, and that's a good ball as well to V-Track. Flinders United players tracking back, so she goes from distance, and it's just wide of the far post in the end. 43 minutes gone now on the One World LED and Sportal System scoreboard. Even as Flinders United build up a little bit of momentum, Campbelltown just lifting to threaten again. Half-time's not too far away, and you'd suspect Flinders United have some adjustments to make. Right-footed in-swinger comes in. Bramley just trying to jostle to get a decent position. Second ball comes in centred, and looks like Flinders United are just scrapping to get rid of it. Gilchrist, but it's stopped by Elliott. Already get one from a corner kick. Looked for a second like it might have been two for Campbelltown, but for now it remains 2-1, but Campbelltown want to change that. Only about less than 10 seconds now away from ticking over 45 minutes. We wouldn't expect to have too much time added. Asada just with a bit of a poor touch and ended up playing back to Flinders United. Eventually goes over. It will be a Flinders United throw in. And there goes the whistle for halftime. Only about 30 seconds played. No, it wasn't. I think it was a crowd member's whistle because we're still underway. It would have been a funny time to blow it because we're about 30 seconds past the 45. False alarm we play on. Gilchrist links up with Glynns. She gets past the first player but spills to the second, and Gilchrist comes to help out. Rakiki ended up just playing it to two Flinders United players, and there is the whistle just as we tick over 46 minutes. So a decent 45 minutes of football despite some scrappy moments very early. We didn't take long to get off the mark. Just the second minute with Bolton able to capitalise on an error from Campbelltown and put Flinders United 1-0 up. But Anna Pritchard responding in the 13th minute and then again in the 16th minute to make it 2-1 the way of Campbelltown City. 2-1 the scoreline from here. Of course, don't forget to check out the other games at FSA Leagues. We should be underway at Service FM Stadium now and not too far away from kick-off at West Adelaide too. So lots of action still to come in round 5 of the Apex Steel Women's National Premier League South Australia. We'll be back in a few minutes for the second half.
I signed my child up. Well, this is probably second time, I reckon. Last year we did it as well.
I thought it'd be good for her to get out and be active because she loves playing soccer.
It's just great to get the kids out, pressure off the iPads and stuff like that as well.
She's made new friends, and I'd definitely recommend it to other people.
So you just enjoy the game and just enjoy playing with other kids, yeah.
For over 25 years, HPG Homes have been helping South Australians build and own their dream home. Whether it's a house and land package, custom build or development, our HPG fixed price guarantee ensures no nasty surprises or price changes along the way. We're committed to quality, affordability and creating a way of life for you and your family. Fixed price, turnkey. It's gotta be HPG. HPG Homes.
At Service FM, we know every workplace is different. Every challenge is unique. That's why we personalise our services to our customers' different needs across different industries. From medical to mining and manufacturing, hospitality to healthcare, commercial to defence. So when you need to create a better work environment, you need Service FM. Proud partner with Football South Australia.
side. Their pass isn't really that great, but they still have it. Shot from distance, and that is an absolute rocket from Caelan Laird. Super sub comes on, makes it 3-0.
Cutting inside, has to strike. Hussein! That's an unbelievable goal, Abu Hussein, for his first of the club. We're only 5 minutes in here, but he's almost taken the net off.
Ball. Bucco now. Great crossfield pass to Dominic Costanzo on this side here. On his left. Gets a shot in. That's goal bound! It's gone in. Fine finish by Dominic Costanzo, making it 1-1 on the One World LED and Sportal scoreboard. And maybe no. Scores update in a minute here as this free kick comes in from Kasimovic. He's hit it well. Oh, Hasan Kasimovic. Pick that one out. Oh, that's I've got no words, Paul. That doesn't happen very often, but that's a fine free kick.
No, that's a super strike. Super strike.
Might have been playing out to the path of Stella, but the end now. Forward on the break. Sia John has a shot from distance. Wow! Goal of the week! Sia John!
One of the best signs that we know when it is a positive experience is when children keep coming back. We want them to be open to make a mistake so they keep learning. The learning is hidden within the games. So as much as possible, get in contact with the ball.
The kids are repeating the drills a lot, so it just becomes a muscle memory. The kids don't need to focus on the skill itself, they just do it naturally, yeah.
I love refereeing because it's a challenge, you know, to go out to try and get the right decision, manage some of the egos or the personalities, knowing that you've got all these different types of people at play. And it's actually been a good life school as well. I started refereeing junior games on the Sunday. I was playing in senior football on the Saturday, so I felt like, you know, making some money. I think I was a decent player back then. You know, I could have stayed around and played senior football in NPL, but I decided to go refereeing, and I've gotten the National League much quicker than if I was as a player. Probably wouldn't have made it as a player, to be honest. Just kind of never looked back and was happy to progress. But I think people should try refereeing. I think it's a great tool to realise, you know, how you can also contribute to part of the game. There's pathways. Definitely it can be a rewarding career.
For over 25 years, HPG Homes have been helping South Australians build and own their dream home. Whether it's a house and land package, custom build or development, our HPG fixed price guarantee ensures no nasty surprises or price changes along the way. We're committed to quality, affordability and creating a way of life for you and your family. Fixed price turnkey. It's gotta be HPG. HPG Homes.
Adelaide wakes up with 5AA, David Penberthy and Will Goodings, Tom Wren for sport, Jade Robran on the scene as it happens, Jess Adamson with the news that matters to Adelaide, Breakfast with David and Will, bringing together the names you trust with everything you need to know to start your day. Always live, always local and only on 5AA, always Adelaide.
So the Youth Club Championship, we've designed a structure where the under 13s, under 14s, under 15s and 16s all compete together as one club. They'll play at the same venue, they'll play one after each other. It allows the technical director to be at the venue to help educate and look after the coaches, and also there's a focus on player development.
Players are now knowing where they are at and the pathway to follow each year. If they continue with the YCC, they should be in a position where they can go into senior football. It's a lot clearer around the steps they need to take to keep tracking as a player.
We've created an additional YCC training session or seminar night. All the players involved had the opportunity to do an extra additional skills session development plan, and we had Adrian Stanter coming in to talk about how to become a more professional player from a younger age.
The fact that as a club we are investing heavily in the juniors to ensure that we're putting those tools in place that the YCC is wanting from us, that's certainly bringing around some benefits to the club and to junior development across the board.
Everyone's trying to obtain points for their club, but also with a strong focus on how do we create a competition where players can play against like players.
The one thing I have noticed is it's been a bit more focused on getting the balance right. So, you know, trying to keep the best teams playing against each other throughout the entire year and not having this big disparity between one team or another, one club or another.
So what it has allowed us to do is have quality games every week, which has benefited the competition and given the girls a chance to sort of understand what it's like to play at that elite level. While development is a good focus, the YCC does bring out the aspect of results as well, which helps find that balance for players to transition to senior football.
So I think with the YCC structure now in place, there's become a better level, and with a better level there's been higher intensity within our sessions, and that's allowed for greater development in terms of a player technically, tactically, and that's given them the best chance to keep improving their game.
Yeah, look, I think there's certainly brought around a lot of excitement to the club on YCC Day. The club's buzzing, a lot of the parents and players really enjoy seeing the kids play, and what is really now an elite pathway in junior football in our state.
Something that resonated with me right on the onset was about connecting a budding footballer with the right coach with the right club, and the right club being part of the right football environment. So the YCC tells me that this has been a fantastic implementation by Football South Australia.
Still in the box, and it's another goal!
Welcome back for the second half at Steve Woodcock Sports Centre. It is round 5 of the Apex Steel Women's National Premier League. South Australia, Campbelltown City hosting Flinders United. Before we go into reviewing the first half, going to quickly touch on the other games that are in progress at the moment. Of course, we already had round 5 kickoff last weekend with the Easter Monday fixture between Football SA and Adelaide Comets. Adelaide Comets getting the 4-1 win. And earlier tonight, the 6:15 kickoff saw West Torrens Bacala host Metro Stars, the home side getting a 1-0 win. And currently we are 0-0 in the Salisbury Inter Mobbery Vista fixture and West Adelaide and Adelaide Uni. Those games 18 minutes and 5 minutes in, respectively. But of course here, it was a 7:30 kickoff and didn't take long for Flinders United to get off the mark. It was Georgia Bolton finding the back of the net just 2 minutes in for Flinders United. And then it was a bit of a scrappy following 10 minutes or so before Campbelltown found the back of the net. It was Anna Pritchard striking in the 13th and 16th minutes to get Campbelltown 2-1 up, and that lead held all the way to half-time. Overall, Campbelltown dominating play, but a relatively scrappy game, I guess you could say at times. Neither team really dominating things, but Campbelltown, safe to say that they had the more obvious opportunities. So Flinders United, no doubt, perhaps looking to implement some changes in the second half. Both sides at the wrong end of the table at the moment, but if Campbelltown can hold this lead all the way to full time, it'll be their first win for the season, or the first time to claim a point at all this season, if they can get any points from this game. Flinders United just one place better on the ladder in 9th at the moment. They did claim 1 point in a round 2 draw when they hosted Mobbery Vista, but points crucial for them as well. And now early on, we see Campbelltown on the attack. Cross there, but it was cut off. And Campbelltown pick up the loose ball and come back to strike. It's Vitrek who looks like she'll get to it first. She does, centres it, but not dealt with the best by Flinders United, but it does find its way over. And it will be a Campbelltown corner. The first goal, or second goal, one of the goals from Campbelltown in the first half was as a result, it was the second actually, of a corner kick. A little bit of a messy situation in front of the goal, and it was Anna Pritchard that eventually managed to push it beyond Yasmin Elliott to put Campbelltown 2-1 up, and here's another chance for them. Ball's low and is intercepted just shy of the near post. Another centering ball, but it's initially cut off by Flinders United. Little chip to try and put into a danger area, and it was dealt with by Flinders United, but not completely out of danger, because this will be another throw-in in Campbelltown's attacking third. The last 2 times these teams faced, it was during last year's season. In the first meeting, round 2, it was Flinders United who got a win at home, 4-0. And in the second meeting, Campbelltown hosted and got a 4-1 win. So maybe 4 is a little bit of a magic number. It'd be a pretty epic clawback for Flinders United to end up on that figure. Or for Campbelltown to end up there, it'll have to be another dominant half from them. But certainly this stage of the Apex Steel WNPLSA season, with neither team claiming a win so far, time for both of these sides to get a bit of a wriggle on and get clear of that relegation zone. It's good from Campbelltown, centering ball. Pritchard just roaming. But Flinders managing to deal with the imminent threat, but it will be another corner kick. Still Vitrek will take this once again. Former FSA program player, and did her junior football with Fulham United. one of the many players that came across to Campbelltown in the off-season, aside from the big names like Olivia Bramley, Anna Pritchard, and others as well. She'll get a second go at this corner kick as well. Still just falls short of the near post, but here's a chance from outside. And it's just a little bit wide in the end. I believe it was Rakiki that struck it. No, it was Yanella. I kept getting those two confused in the first half, and that'll continue in the second. Rakiki wearing the number 10 and Yanella wearing the number 13 with pretty similar body types, just on opposite sides of the pitch. Gilchrist just cuts off the Flinders United player and wins it back for Campbelltown, but again, just that crisp quality follow-up ball lacking, but Campbelltown still end up with it, and another chance to come forward. Summer Doman was making a bit of a run on the near side. It goes back to Simic, who found a player in the middle, but it's still going back and forward at the moment a little bit. Flinders United do well to just give themselves a little bit of space, play it back and try to create something new. Gallagher just ahead of Doman, does well with that touch to just evade. Now she'll have a chance to centre. And it's cut off by Campbelltown. That was a little bit better from Flinders United in that instance. Overall, in the first half, just looking a little bit panicked and not able to really advance with anything clean. Flinders United with a loose ball again. They do look like they're showing just a little bit more composure until it's built just then to Campbelltown, and now it's the Reds back in attack. B-Trek, although she's got two players to contend with, and Flinders United win it back, but only momentarily. Here's Pritchard, already with her brace, and she's looked hungry to get a third. Gallagher again, and this time she'll not manage to get Juma on the end of it, as she's just beaten to it by Olivia Bramley. Former Durham Women's Football Club player in the English WSL2, who's returned home for this season. And Juma, of course, on the move in the off-season as well. She coming from Adelaide City over to Flinders United. Well, Adelaide City battle it out now in 2026 in the Apex Steel WSL, the second tier. Juma gets a touch to it again, but Simic is able to deal with a loose ball, but will be a Flinders United throw-in. Dry at Steve Woodcock Sports Centre at the moment. It wasn't so in the countdown to half-time, where we had the showers finally arrive. The wind and rain picked up for a couple of minutes, but cleared again, and hopefully we've got clear skies for the rest of today. It's cold, but cold's better than cold and wet for these spectators that have come out tonight. Pritchard goes to ground. It looks like she'll get a free. No, it was in fact Flinders United. No, it was Campbelltown that won the free kick. And it's Olivia Bramley that will take. Finds Gilchrist in the middle. And Simic had to hustle to try and get to it. It ends up being a loose ball. Now it looks like Bolton will get to it, but Gilchrist slides in and puts it out for a corner kick. So now The Flinders United corner. Thames and Gallagher will be the one to take. The tallest player in green, Vicky Juma, just presenting, but the ball goes over the top and just falls shy of the near post. And Pritchard clears it, but only as far as Gallagher, as she's just battling. Her work rate's been pretty impressive in the first 8 minutes of this half. Juma keeps it in, centres it, but there's no one there to pick it up. Now it's a bit of a race for Campbelltown to try and pick up the loose ball, but Flinders United teammate in, I believe it's Frost, gets to it first. And now it will be a Flinders United throw-in. Won by Marina Sada, but it'll only go out for another Flinders United throw-in. Now we'll do our best to keep you up to date with the other round 5 action in the Apex Steel NPLSA, and we've already had 2 goals at Service FM Stadium. 28 minutes in Salisbury Inter against Modbury Vista, and we've seen the first goal to Vista 19 minutes in, and a follow-up to Salisbury Inter to level things up in the 29th minute. So we'll keep you up to date with the live ladder in that as well, because round 5 will complete tonight, as Juma does well to win it, but Bramley clears. It will be another throw-in for Flinders United. Much better for Flinders United in this half. Spending a lot more time in their attacking third and just putting the pressure on Campbelltown to deal with things. Far more opportunity created by Campbelltown in the first half. And here's a shot from distance, but it won't trouble Isabel Chekowitz. The player that was Sturt Lions keeper during last year. Also having spent time at West Adelaide, Metro Stars, Adelaide Uni and Comets. Juma in a bit of a foot race, and Chekowitz came out to cover it as well, but after all that, it will be a Campbelltown goal kick. A good time while we get ready for this, just to check in with the table, is what I was going to do, but I'll hold off on that for a moment because we've got to change here for Flinders United. Coming in, Lily Nichols wearing the number 8. Nichols coming into the lineup for this week. She wasn't in the side or on the bench last week. "12 minutes into this second half on the One World LED and Sportal System scoreboard for all your indoor and outdoor LED solutions. And Flinders United will now do a little bit of defending. It's the first time in a little bit that they've had to do so. Gallagher did well to get to that initial ball, but Flinders United eventually spilled, but doing well to try and win it back. It's that little bit of extra hustle that they're showing to get the better of Campbelltown at the moment, but here come Campbelltown. They looked like they were dangerous on the counter, but that last ball just a little bit loose, and Yanella forced to chase. Flinders United win it back again. Bolton, Juma's calling for it, but ends up going over the top of everyone, and Chekowicz will control. And she calls her players to run forward. So just the one change for Flinders United, none yet for Campbelltown. As Rakiki battles and plays a nice ball. And Vitrek was going to try a run to it, but Yasmin Elliott gets to it first. Gilchrist battling. Flinders United win it, but only momentarily. Pritchard, but that's a bit of a loose ball. Ends up just being put over for a Campbelltown throw-in. Doman to take. Pritchard looking for a third. Just evades the defensive pressure for now, but looks like Yanella will keep this in. She doesn't. Content with another corner kick. Campbelltown. So again, they've already capitalised from the corner tonight, Campbelltown, with the second goal after was a little bit of a messy situation in the goal face. That's how Pritchard got a second. They opt to go short, and Pritchard perhaps didn't judge that the best, but the centering ball comes in. Bramley beats Yasmin Elliott to make it 3-1 for the home side. And it's the 15th minute. The captain for Campbelltown puts them further in front. They've been looking better to start off the half, Flinders United, but you just fear that third could be the nail in the coffin for Flinders tonight. Rakiki does a great job to evade Nichols and eventually play the ball forward, but that final touch isn't great. He was looking for Asada. That's a dangerous touch. Oh, it's still in. And then a slide from Yasmin Elliott. A very testy moment there for Flinders United. That's one worth going back and just reviewing the footage, because a lot to unpack there. Looked like Elliott missed it initially, then let it go through, and it sort of curled back in and hit the wrong side of the post, but I can't dwell on that at the moment, Flinders United, because there's more defending to do here. Nichols is going to Gallagher, but a little bit too much space for her to make up. Now Campbelltown throwing. After they got the first goal in the first half, it energised Campbelltown, and it may do so in this second as well. Pritchard from distance, and that's 3! Well, it's a little bit of a case of the first half repeating itself. Campbelltown go 4-1 up. And Pritchard makes it a hat-trick. Now we're going to see a double change for Flinders United. It's going to be Akpalu and Levy coming on for, I believe it was Gallagher. And the other player is Frost. But you do fear at the moment that's going to be a little bit too much ground for Flinders United to make up. And I mentioned before, it's a little bit of a case of history repeating, because it was in the 13th and 16th minutes that we saw Campbelltown attack in the first half. And it's the 15th and 17th minutes in the second half. So around the same mark of the half that Campbelltown have done the damage, and in both cases it was in quick succession. And also, I said at the start of the half, 4 seems to be a bit of a magic number, because when these two teams met last year, it was a 4-0 win to Flinders at home and a 4-1 win to Campbelltown at home. And so far, we stand 4-1 to Campbelltown at home, but I do get the feeling at this stage in the game, we may see more goals yet. Campbelltown Flinders United rather, with a real challenge here just to stay focused. And that's a nice ball through. Bolton will get their second though. It's spilled by Chekowicz, but the whistle goes and it'll be a free kick. Those through balls have been lacking in quality a bit throughout tonight from both sides, to be completely fair. Campbelltown, though, regardless, finding their way into the score sheet on 4 different occasions. A hat-trick to Anna Pritchard's name. Captain Olivia Bramley making it 4. Now Vitrek wants to further the damage, but ball ends up curling away. And out of bounds, it'll be a goal kick. So we did mention before, it'd be interesting to have a look at the current standings, and we'll do that while Campbelltown make their quick double substitution. It's Elizabeth Kafari and Monique Rakiki is the other player that's coming on at the moment. So Kafari and Monique Rakiki coming on. I believe that was a Rakiki to Rakiki swap. Well, here's another chance for Campbelltown. Back of the net. And that's number 5. Vitrek, 21st minute, to add to the second half pain that Flinders United are encountering at the moment. And I said that the 4th may have been the nail in the coffin. But 5th surely will mean Flinders United are dead and buried at this point unless they can pull off something miraculous. They'll continue to fight on nonetheless. Pritchard composed on the ball. I mentioned after the first 2 goals in the first half, they just seem to have added confidence, Campbelltown, and that's the case at the moment as well. Little unfortunate slip by Flinders United. They do manage to deal with the initial danger though. Akpalu just managing to evade Summer Doman for the time being. Ends up being Akpalu Doman again. And Flinders United end up coming away with it. The ball was trying to be a target for Vicky Juma, but not to be. But Flinders United do go away from that with a throw-in. There has been some goals in the other games, but we're going to wait to go to those for the time being, and when we do it, we're going to talk about the standings as well. Things are a little bit fast and furious at Steve Woodcock Sports Centre at the moment. As Yanella comes forward, that's a nice ball to Vitrek. Nice touch on it as well. Can she have a shot off her left foot? Ends up going wide of the near post. This will be a Flinders United. I thought it was going to be a goal kick, but it looks like it'll be a corner. While we wait for this, I'll give you a bit of a score update from elsewhere. Still the same score at Salisbury Inter versus Modbury Vista in the 42nd minute. Still 1-1 after Modbury Vista got off the line first and Salisbury Inter responded. And we're off the mark at West Adelaide as well. 1-0 thanks to a 28th minute goal for West Adelaide. As Campbelltown delivering that to dangerous position. It's cleared off the line from Flinders United. And a bit of a shot to follow up from Campbelltown. Flinders United will have a momentary instance of safety here. Doling plays it up the line. Bramley and Juma having a bit of a race to it, but Bramley happy to let it go over for a throw-in. Diamond plays it down the line. Gilchrist plays it back to Bramley, who clears. Well won by McDonald Hall. And just misjudged by Levy on that occasion, but she managed to play it forward, but only as far as the Campbelltown player. Pritchard attempting to break, but that time Flinders United managed to deal with it. Yanella finds Glynns. He plays it forward down to Vitrek. Now she'll get to this with a little bit of time as Flinders United rush back. Nice ball as Rakiki came sliding in to try slot it. She doesn't do so. Tamsin Elliott deals with the danger for the time being and clears it long. Juma v her former teammate in Gilchrist, but neither gets a touch on it. That's been an unfortunate ball received into the body of Brooke Gilchrist, so she'll get a little bit of medical attention here. And Flinders United just taking a quick moment to convene and talk about the game plan for the final 20 minutes of this game. And while we do that, it's a good time to have a quick look at the standings that we've been meaning to get to. Before I do that, I will tell you, Salisbury Inter just bagged another goal. They lead 2-1 seconds from the break. But we're looking at the other end of the table at the moment. Campbelltown City, assuming they pick up the 3 points from today, will go all the way from 10th up into 7th spot. Equal points with Metro Stars, who fell to West Torrens Bacalla tonight. 3 points each for the two teams in 7th and 8th. It means they still have a little bit of catching up to do to the pack. Still 4 points behind Adelaide University, but going out of that bottom relegation spot will be massive for Campbelltown. And unfortunately for Flinders United, it will mean slipping into 10th. The lowest placed team on just 1 point, but still a very condensed bottom part of the table at the moment, with Wonbury Vista in 9th on just 2 points. Of course, their game's still underway at the moment against Salisbury Inter. And Metro Stars and Campbelltown both on 3rd. So the bottom 4 places very difficult to separate for the time being. In terms of upcoming fixtures, both of these teams back in action next Friday night for round 6. Flinders United will travel to Ellis Park to face Adelaide Comets, who picked up a win against FSA last week. They have the early kickoff at 6:15. And Campbelltown will host Adelaide Uni back here next Friday night with the same 7:30 kickoff. And that'll be followed by the Cup round. Then it'll be Comets for Campbelltown away and Metro Stars at home for Flinders United. So the next few rounds will be critical for Campbelltown just to back up tonight's form, and for Flinders United to try and get them off of that bottom spot on the ladder that they currently occupy. Will we see more goals tonight? I said after Campbelltown went 4-1 up, I suspected there would probably be some more. But Campbelltown may look to shut up shop from here. Pritchard already claiming a hat-trick. Bramley striking in the second half. And Vitrek at the 21-minute mark of the second half. And right now there's 28 minutes gone on the One World LED and Sportal System scoreboard for all your indoor and outdoor LED solutions. A change coming for Campbelltown. Georgie Yanella coming off after an impressive shift from her. And Yuka Tsukuda coming on. They did the old switcher on us tonight, Campbelltown, and a few players have switched numbers, so the first win and the first points from the first 5 games for Campbelltown City with a victory tonight. As Flinders United continue their chase to add to their just 1 point picked up in round 2. Round 2's draw. Akpalu just battling in. She gets past Bramley initially. She's still got a bit of a battle. She finds Juma. And then Campbelltown win it. Although Flinders United get it back and manage to keep it in, but still under a lot of pressure. Campbelltown win the throw-in. Now, as well as Apex Steel WNPLSA action tonight, there's RA8 NPLSA action as well. And I can tell you, Jack Smith Park, 34 minutes in. West Torrens Bacalla currently tied up with Metro Stars, but here at Steve Woodcock, we've got a double change coming for Flinders United. Number 24, Charlotte Nip, and Caitlin Zappler coming on. And it's been Vicky Juma and Georgia Bolton that have made way. Flinders United will hope to at least put a dent in this scoreline. Hands up by the Flinders United defender, and it is offside. Akpalu doing well to evade Campbelltown initially, but Campbelltown won it, but then it was a shot from long distance for Flinders United, and now Campbelltown will try to rebound. Rukiki getting her skates on to chase this, but it'll be dealt with by Flinders United. Udich playing back to Elliott. Pritchard finds Glynns. And Vitrek aiming to run onto it, but she'll get to it second. Bramley will get to this first, but Flinders United chasing to try and win it back high. Takuda with a nice ball. That follow-up, searching for Monique Rakiki, not quite there, but Campbelltown keep possession as Vitrek not afraid to get physical. And it looks like Campbelltown will make another double substitution just shy of the 80-minute mark. Pritchard gets an early rest. Well earned after her hat-trick tonight. Very well done. Probably best on ground for mine. And Brooklyn Rigney comes on along with Alyssa Costello. And just trying to get confirmation on the other player that came off for Campbelltown. I'll have to wait till she gets around the other side and have a clue. Actually, I think I can tell you it's Kira Glynns, who we had a close look at in the first half, and she started well when she was on the side nearest to camera, and plenty of involvement in the second half as well. Certainly slowed down a little bit. Well, maybe not slowed down, but the goal scoring has certainly slowed down over the last 10 minutes or so. Flinders United still trying to chase at this late stage to reduce the deficit. Maybe a little bit of overzealous in that particular chase with Isabel Chekowitz going to ground. And it just gives Campbelltown a little bit of a chance to suck up a little bit of time on the One World LED and Sportal Systems scoreboard for all your indoor and outdoor LED solutions. 82 minutes gone now. Brooklyn Rigney trying to make her mark and put the Flinders United defender under a little bit of pressure. He managed to poke that one forward and forces Yasmin Elliott into action to deal with it. She's had a busy night tonight, Yasmin Elliott. The former Mount Gambier and Hills Hawks junior. She debuted for Flinders United back in 2024. Gilchrist spills it to Flinders United, but that clearance cut off early. Gilchrist as well, just with another tap to Vitrek. Now shot from distance. As I said before, some of the players tonight playing a bit of a game of swap the jersey. Got number 11 marked as Yuka Takuda, who's not wearing the number 11, she's wearing the number 33. I think that may be Rakiki. will correct myself. Elizabeth Kafari wearing the number 11. And she's on the team sheet for that, so my apologies. My sheet was wrong. And another stoppage, a certain difference shown in urgency as Flinders United try to get play back underway. A little bit of a different story as Campbelltown are a little bit more content to eat up the clock. Flinders United continue to fight. Here's Kafari wearing the number 11 as advertised. Stella Vitrek. But she's got to get past one player. Centres it to Kafari, who was just a little bit heavy on that initial touch, but Campbelltown managed to keep it. And he was a shot from distance. Takuda was trying to get onto the middle, but she was doing so from an offside position. Ticking over the 85th minute on the One World LED and Sportal System scoreboard for all your indoor and outdoor LED solutions. We'll have a quick look at the other Apex Steel WNPL games in just a moment. As Flinders United clear. Half-time now at both Kilburn, where West Adelaide are hosting Adelaide University, and the top of the table, West Adelaide lead 2-0. Meanwhile, at Service FM Stadium, Salisbury Inter lead Mowbray Vista 2-1. As it stands on the ladder, these two teams, the visitors, Flinders United in last place on just 1 point. Campbelltown with a win tonight will secure 7th place on 3. Summer Doman gets to the touch and creates a little bit of a frantic moment for Campbelltown. And we've got a little bit of afters as Doman went to ground. Now there's a little bit of a scrap happening on the pitch. That credit to Doman's Campbelltown teammates. Just tell her to move on. It was Caitlin Zappler that was involved, the sub for Flinders United, and she gets a yellow card for the troubles. And now it's just another chance for the clock to tick down a little bit more. Now Summer Doman's going back to the bench. I didn't see a car presented, but I think that's what may have happened for the initial reaction against Zappler. I'll get you confirmation on that as soon as I can. Yep, Summer Doman forced to call it a night early, and she goes back to warm up in the change rooms. And Campbelltown will finish this game with just 10 players. A little bit late in the game for Flinders United to chase down and do anything meaningful on the scoreboard, but maybe be able to reduce the damage a little bit. Simic puts it out into immediate safety, and Flinders United will quickly put it back into play. Simic charging forward, trying to launch that ball into a little bit of space, and again, eat up just a little bit of time, but now it goes all the way back for Isabel Chekowicz, who I suspect wouldn't be in a terrible rush to take this goal kick. Again, with 3 points tonight, Campbelltown rocket up the ladder all the way into 7th spot. Elliott clears. Only as far as Kafari, who plays it back to Gilchrist. Plays it through to Rakiki in a really tight gap. Back to Gilchrist. Put into the path of Takuda, but it's offside once again. Just ticked over 90 minutes. Despite the red card, I don't suspect there'll be a lot of time added, given the deficit that we've got here. But just again to reiterate the other games in round 5, Salisbury Inter leading in the 47th minute, 2-1 against Modbury Vista. West Adelaide 2-0 the better at halftime of Adelaide Uni. The table as it stands, live ladder, West Adelaide on top on 15 points, assuming they pick up 3 tonight. West Torrens Bacalla in second on 12. Salisbury Inter, assuming they get all 3, 10 points. FSA on 10. Their game already happened Monday of this week. Adelaide Comets on 9th. Adelaide Uni in 6th, still underway. Campbelltown in 7th. And this results all but confirmed, except for on paper. Metro Stars in 8th. Modbury Vista in 9th, Flinders United in 10th. In terms of the standout players for tonight, Anna Pritchard, can't ignore her massive 3-goal effort. And also that initial goal from her was, I guess, that first turning point of the game that really filled Campbelltown with a lot of confidence. And it only took 3 minutes for her to follow up with her second as well. Olivia Bramley getting Campbelltown off the mark in the second half in the 15th minute. And Pritchard again in the 17th to make it a hat-trick with Stella Vitrek scoring for the 5th time in the 21st. Campbelltown City's RAA NPLSA side will be back here at 3 o'clock tomorrow morning, hosting Adelaide United. Of course, if you want to catch the second half of the first game of round 6 of the RAA NPLSA, then jump on over to West Torrens Bacalla versus Metro Stars on FSA Leagues. Once the final whistle goes here, all the rest of the action you can catch tomorrow, starting with the 2:30 kickoff at Croydon. Just a moment, this match in round 5 for the Apex Steel WNPLSA will wrap up at Steve Woolcock Sports Park. And of course we thank our partner Apex Steel, official naming rights partner of the Apex Steel WNPLSA. And there's the final whistle. The home supporters given a bit of a treat tonight. Huge 5-goal hole for Campbelltown City, but more importantly, a massive 3 points secured, getting them out of the relegation zone and into 7th spot. Meanwhile, for Flinders United, they still stay in search of their first win. Just 1 point and in 10th spot on the ladder. And that concludes Campbelltown versus Flinders United. Of course, Salisbury Inter And Mulberry Vista still underway at Service FM Stadium, and of course West Adelaide and Adelaide Uni underway currently at Kilburn. You can check out the rest of those games up at FSA Leagues on Facebook. For tonight, time to say goodbye. Simon Jimenez signing off, and we'll catch you soon.